Hi, and welcome to Qigong Live Online. This is the beginner series. So today we're going to do transitions. We're going to do energetic transitions. So part of Qigong exercise and part of Tai Chi as well is this movement from side to side or front and back or rotations. And all of these require the body to move on a different way. And so the transitions, to understand the transitions and how our body does transition from one side to the other. If I'm moving from side to side, and I go from side to side, I'm changing weight from one foot all the way to the other. This transitional thing that happens energetically in our body. So we have a physical transition because all our weight's changing from one side to the other. But there's also this energetic transition where the energy moves from one side of the body to the other as well. And so it's about how do we do that seamlessly? How do we do that with the maximum amount of energy, the maximum amount of perfection? And Qigong teaches you perfection, so Tai Chi teaches perfection as well. And how do we get this movement? And so it's happening seamlessly inside our body, and the energy moves smoothly from side to side. Yeah, and we'll do a couple of exercises showing you both these versions of what we're doing as well. So the first one is about going from side to side. We'll do the side to side because that's the easiest one to start with. So we transition from side to side. Now we do this a certain time every day. Yeah, not what I'm doing right now. We don't necessarily do this, but you do something else that does this, and that's walking. When you walk, you actually transfer weight from one foot and then 100% on the other foot. And before you can pick the other foot off the ground, you have to be 100% weighted on one foot. Otherwise, you can't get the other one off the ground. 100% weight, you unload the foot. Then you move it forward, you put it down, and then you load it up 100% and you unload the other foot to that foot. And so you actually you're transitioning weight. You can't walk anywhere because if you have any weight on one of your foot, you can't get it off the ground. So you actually have to unload it completely. And so when we're walking without knowing. We're doing this transition all the time. And we've perfected it because we've done a walking. So when you first start walking, you're walking as a baby and you're wobbling like sort of stagger like this, and you're doing the same thing. You're going 100% weight, 100% weight, 100% weight, because that's the only way you walk. And so we have this staggering from this weight change because we learn how to weight change, and every time we get it out of it, we fall over. And as we get older and older and older, then our precision with this movement of energy from one side of the body becomes very precise. When we can walk, and I'll step back a bit, we can walk straight towards you, and I'm changing weight from side to side, and you can't see my head moving from side to side. And I'm changing weight internally, and I'm not stepping with the foot around in front of the other one. I'm not doing the model walking when you're walking on this, and I'm keeping straight. I'm walking with my feet either side. They're either side, but you still can't see my head moving. Yeah, there's very little movement going on inside the movement. So we've perfected the art of changing weight inside our body with very little external movement. It's like changing weight. You're standing here. If I stand here with my 2 feet together, it's doing that. Put the foot down, do the other one, and you'll see my head move slightly from side to side. Or if I'm really clever, I'll be able to do this without moving my head. I just do the whole body, and it must be some weight change going, otherwise I couldn't get the foot off the ground. So there's a weight change going on, but we've perfected it. So the Qigong shows you that. So if we've got our feet apart, the transition of weight's going to be different. And we have a single horse stance, double horse stance. If we're doing a wide one, the transition of weight from side to side is going to be different to get all the way across one side to the other. And how to perfect this movement. Yeah, we'll do an exercise. We'll do to talk about this particular weight change from side to side. We use painting a rainbow in the sky from the Shiba Shu Taiji Qigong system. And it's a complete 100% weight change. And then we'll do a forward and backwards one, as we'll talk about that shortly. So bring your hands up, turn them over at your eye, yin tongue, push them towards the sky. Good. Now you're going to go to your right. I'm going to mirror you. Go to your right. All the weight goes to the right. And then turn to the left and bring your hands down so the hands facing towards, straight across to the left. Don't have a straight arm, have it slightly bent. Other hands above your head. Now all my weight at this stage is on my right foot. I'm going to pick the hand up. Now I'm double weighted in the center. Then all the weight's going to go into the left foot. So here's this transition from one side to the other. So it goes the movement of the hips into the center and then all the way to the right side. Now I'm also standing on my kidney points. I'm not standing on my heels as well. I'm standing on the front part of my feet. Comes up and then transfer weight to the other side. Comes up to the center and then transfers weight. 100% on my right, come to the center, 100% both feet, and then change the weight 100% on the left foot. And this is one of the exercises where you have this transition. And how do you make that smooth from one side to the other? And that's part of the practice of how you do that. Now, the breathing for this exercise is you breathe in when it comes to the top, and you breathe out when you change the weight. Breathe in back to the top, double weighted, and then breathe out when we change the weight. Breathe in and back to the top. Breathe out when we change the weight. So how you do that seamlessly, breathing in, there's no pause between the breath, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. So now you're timing the breathing with the movement. Breathing in and breathing out. There's no gap between an in and out breath to the end. Breathing out. Then straight away start breathing in and then breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. Now just bring your hands up to the top and bring your hands down, turn them over, yin tongue, bring them back and return the chi back to the lower dantian. So returning energy back to your energy center. Good, there you go. So there's a simple exercise about the transition. That exercise, by the way, painting a rainbow in the sky, is good for your liver, good for your gallbladder as well, good for calming your emotions. It's good for any digestive issues. It's definitely good for balancing your hormones. That exercise is very good for that as well. So the liver can distort all of those things and it helps you with your detox in your body as well. So there's this transition from the yin and the yang. And we transition and doing 100% weight one foot, 100% weight the other foot. And we're learning how to do this. But remember, we've already learned how to do this because we walk. And we do this all the time. But now we've got our feet further apart, then the process of learning how to do this seamlessly is slightly different than we walk. We don't usually walk with our feet apart like that. Well, you might do, I don't know. But generally you don't walk with, if your feet are pretty well side by side, you don't walk with them out that wide and walk that way. Yeah, unless you're a baby. So that's that part. So we're going to do the same. So that was side and side. And the transition, now what we did was we linked the breath with the movement. So start to breathe in, move, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. So as the breath in and breathe out changes from the in to the out breath, the pause in between it, then our movement is exactly the same. We're timing that to get to work out how to do that. And then our energy starts moving across the other side. When I do that exercise, I have this feeling that when I get to the center, when I go to the side, when I get to the center, it sits up in the air and it's double weighted. And all of a sudden the energy moves the other leg and goes whoosh, and sinks down into the other leg. And then it comes up into the center and it sinks down the other side. And it's almost like it's coming up from one side, goes across, and then it goes falling into the leg of the other. As we do all the weight changes, it comes up to the center and then falls into the other leg as all the weight changes onto one leg. And so the weight's changing from leg, comes up to leg. And you get a little bit of a feeling of that doing that exercise where you feel the weight change inside the body. Center, weight change. Center, weight change. And it almost, because it's going down into the leg, you can feel it goes down, comes up to the center, then down to the other side. Up and down, up and down. And we do that when we walk as well. Okay, so when we change that, we're going to do another one, which is go forward and backwards. So the exercise for this, but I'll do it to the side, but I'm going to, so you can see what I'm doing, but normally I'd be doing it this way, but you can't see so much what's happening if I do it this way. And I'm going to change it, I'll go to the side slightly so you can see the transition. So now I'm going forward and backwards. Yep. So now we're going to the kidney point in the front and kidney point in the back. Now, when we walk, the idea when we're walking is we have a round heel. The heel's round and we have a flat part. And the idea is you sit on your heel and you roll forward onto the front part of your feet when you're walking. Your heel goes down and you roll. You don't actually stand on your heel, you just roll forward into the front part of your foot. So we're doing the same thing now, going forward and backwards. So we're going backwards on our kidney point in the toes, heels on the ground, no weight in it, go forward onto the kidney point toes. The heels on the ground, so you can see with this stage, I'm basically standing on one leg, but there's no weight on the heel. The heel's just touching the ground. So when I go back, the same thing happens. I'm standing on the back leg. I'm still not on my heel. I'm still standing on the front part of my feet. Yeah. So I'm going for the ball, kidney point, and the heels, the weight on the heels don't change anytime they feel the same. They're just touching. So the weight on the heel, there's no weight change inside the heel at all. It's all happening on the front part of the foot. So I'm going forward and backwards. And as I say, I can feel the heel feels exactly the same there. If I'm back, the heel still feels the same. On the back foot, the heel feels that way. I go forward, the heel feels the same. The heel pressure doesn't change at all. It just changes on the kidney point. 100% weight on the back kidney point, 100% weight on the front kidney point. And now the transition now, of course, we can link the breath of this transition as well to make this smooth. Yeah, you can breathe in as you go forward. You can breathe out when you go back. You can do it the other way too, by the way. You can breathe in as you go forward, and you can breathe out as you go back, depending on the exercise. And so you can go both ways. So now we're timing our breathing in, going forward, breathing out, going back, breathing in, going forward. So the seamless piece of the breathing is the interchange between the in and out breath. There's no gap between the change between the in and out breath. There's no gap. And so there's no change between the movement as well, only that you're changing in direction. Stop, comes the other way. It's like a pendulum shaft of a clock, a grandfather clock. It goes up one side, stops, comes back. But when you watch a clock, you can't see the stop. You know it's got to stop because it changes direction. You know it in your mind it stops because it has to, because it changes direction, but you can't see it. Because that millisecond, the millisecond when it gets to the top of the arc and it stops and comes down, that millisecond of change is very hard to visually see. Well, it's the same thing happening when we're moving our body. The change between the moving the front, like the pendulum, and moving to the back, to see the stop, because we're not stopping. We're not going forward, stop, go back, stop, go forward, stop. We're not doing that. We're trying to do this seamlessly. So we're doing the pendulum going forward and backwards. So that the interchange between the movement forward and backwards is very precise, but the interchange of the breath becomes just as precise as when you stop one breath and start the next one. Stop one breath, start the next one. The gap between those is just as smooth as the movement. So you're linking the breath and the movement together. Yeah, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in. And so the movement and things, and this is how you get the perfection inside the movement, the weight change. And we're going from kidney point to kidney point, kidney point, kidney point. Now the other one, remember, we had a stop in the middle. We had a pause I was talking about when we were doing this exercise. We would go from one side and we come up to the stop. There's like this center point, we're double weighted, and then it comes to the other side. And it's really obvious in this exercise that this point in the middle where it is, but you don't stop there, you just transition through it. But it's obvious that you can feel double weighted, and then it goes off double weighted. Comes to the center, double weighted, off to that. And you can feel that piece in the middle. You don't feel it so much walking because we walk like this. When we're going forward and backwards, you don't feel the transition stop in the center. And if you want to, we'll do that so you can see what that looks like. Stop, double weighted, go forward. Go back, stop, double weighted, go back. Kidney point to kidney point. Go forward, stop, double weighted, go forward. See, so it's not so easy to pick it up in this one. Stop, double weighted, then go back. If you see the advanced exercise, in the YouTube advanced class I just did before this one, we were talking about this. We did an exercise with this one. Stop in the center, go forward. Stop in the center, go back. Yep. And so we don't normally do that. So we usually transition right through the center. So you don't notice where the double weight is. Where we're waving the hands, you can actually pick up the center, the center part of that quite easily. But this transition's different because we're going forward, going backwards, going forward, and we're breathing in, breathing out. It's a part of the smoothness of to get this smooth. And breathing out. Good, perfect. Breathing in and breathing out. And that perfection, it becomes not only a physical perfection, it becomes an energetic perfection as well. So not only are we timing our breath to perfection, our in-breath, our out-breath, we time it so we do the exact in-breath, exact out-breath. Now we're timing our physical movement from weight change from one to the other. Very good. And now we have a physical piece to it where we're transitioning physically from forward to the backwards. So we have the breath, we have the physical transition, and then we have the energetic transition all happening. And we're trying to line up all three of them at the same time. So they're all moving together, but being aware that they all exist in their own separateness. They exist, but we're timing them so we can feel it coming from one to the other. Very good. Good. And this is the practice. And you learn how to do this, so you become really precise how you move. You really have the control, the mastery of your energy, because now you're aware of your energy. Remember, Qigong means the skill of Qi, or the skill of art of moving Qi. And so the Qi is the energy, and you become skilled at being able to move energy seamlessly. And then watch the energy, the breath, and the physical body all moving in harmony together. This is very cool. Cool. I'll show you next slide. So we'll stay with our foot forward. We've got our, I'm mirrored you, so I've got my left foot forward. So we're going to go down. The exercise is called scoop the, I think we'll do scoop the sea. There's a few different ones, which is scoop the sea, toss the sky. So we're going to come forward. As we come forward, all the weight changes into the front leg. We're going to bend forward. And we're going to change the weight into the back foot as we lean backwards. And we're going to lean right back. And then we're going to come forward. So then the weight change. So now we're going to time the movement of the weight going forward, changing the weight on the back leg, changing the weight on the front leg, and we've got the smoothness going back. Now the first thing we're going to try and time is the physical movement of the arms and the legs. And so as we go forward, as we get down, we're weighted on the front leg as the hands transition through, and we go to the back, and all the weight's on the back leg as we transition at the back, the top. So we have this. Again. Transitions back to the other one. And we transition forward. Good. So there's the physical piece. So now the energy, we're going to move the energy forward. And then let the energy transmit to the back foot. Energy is coming forward, the energy in the arms as well as the whole body comes forward in the arms. It's also sinking and rising, so the energy is sinking and rising at the same time. The energy is going forward and backwards at the same time. And the seamless interchange at both ends. Good. And we add the breath to that. Now we're going to do the breathing. You're going to breathe out on the way down. And then breathe in as we come back. Breathe out on the way down. Breathe in on the way back. Perfect. Now we're timing that. We're going to swap sides. Just take your left foot in. Step out with your right. We'll do the other side to balance yourself up. So now we'll do the physical piece. So we're going to do physical. Hands at the top. Weights on the back foot. Weights on the front foot. Both hands cross at the bottom. Physical timing. Do the energetic timing. Where all the energy is going down in the front foot. And then all energy transfers to the back foot. Energy transfers to the front foot. Energy transfers to the back foot. Energy transfers to the front. Good. Now we'll do the breathing. Breathing in. So you can see how complex these exercises are to do. And this is a simple exercise. But to get the timing of the physical, the breath, and the energy, all three parts of that time together, and this is part of the practice, and it teaches you how to do that. Breathing out and breathing in. And it's continuous. There's no gap. There's no gap in the physical movement. There's no gap in the energetic movement. And there's no gap in the breathing. There's no stop anywhere. Breathing out. Good. We'll do one more, and then it should even ourselves up so we don't walk funny after the class. Always pays to do the same both sides. Breathing out. Good. and then step up, and then bring your hands back down to the side, double weight yourself. There you go. Perfect. So there's a great way to practice now. So we're aware of there's another part to this, by the way. We talked about the physical part of the exercise. We talked about the energetic part of the exercise. We talked about the physical part. Well, sorry, we did physical, we did energetic, and then we did the breathing. So we had 3 different parts to it. There's more than 3, because there's a spiritual aspect of this about the connection to heaven and earth with it as well. So there's all these different pieces inside it, and you're trying to connect them all up and put them all in harmony. And if you have all these in harmony, then you have your life in harmony, and then your whole life equates to the same way you move. So if my life's in balance, I can move seamlessly from wherever I go. If I can move through this part, I go to that. I was driving my scooter to drop my son off at school today, and I move in and out the traffic, and it's like this seamlessly moving in and out of the traffic, going from yin to the yang, energetically, physically. And of course, I must be breathing at the time, not that I'm focusing on my breath, but it's all about this energy transfer. And if I can do that seamlessly, then I learned how to do that because I can do this seamlessly. It moves from side to side, and this perfect connection between the breath, the physical body, and the energy. And all it is just to practice it. We can all do this. You just have to practice it. And then your energy stays in harmony this way. And then, funny enough, it seems to equate to how you live your life outside as well. And everything else is in harmony as well. Even when there's a disturbance in the force, the disturbance in the force, Luke, if there's a disturbance in the force, sometimes the disturbance is creating something on the other side. And so there could be a disturbance one way, and there's this learning on the other side. So they balance each other out anyway. It's always this constant flow of balance. And the Qigong exercises teach you this harmony, teaches this ability to move seamlessly from one side of the body to the other, from one part of life to another, from one conversation to another. Yep. And we do that as smooth as we can, and then this harmony comes inside your life. Yep. Hope you enjoy that. And have a beautiful day today. It's the wet season started here. It rained last night. It's hot and steamy today. It gets so much humidity. Have a beautiful day, everybody. And we'll see you next week. Have a great week. Bye-bye. Just roll back onto your thumbs. Left hand underneath, right hand on top. 2 thumbs together. Go. Make a fist with your left hand. Cover it with your right. Bring it towards your heart. And then bring your hands down. Perfect. We'll just step back and bow to everybody who's going to do this class, and everybody that in the future is going to see this class on YouTube, and all the people that see it in 10 years' time when you come in and watch this. Hello, how are you? And I hope you have a beautiful day today. Bye-bye.